All right, let's try this again. Gonna try this again. Don't know what happened. You know, people always talk about Facebook jail, but man, in the middle of the show, it just everything went blank. Thought I was giving some good information too. It just everything went blank. So anyway, I'm trying to give it a little couple seconds to see if somebody else, if they rejoin again. So, but I was talking about the games I won in practice, not the actual contest. All right, so we talked about how the coach has to be marketable, and because that's a trickle down. The coach has to trickle it down to the players. All right, most players take on the attitude or the bravado per se of their coach, regardless if he's a hard worker, tough, hard nosed, laid back, cool, suave, whatever, right? Flashy. Most players take on the characteristics of their coach. So the coach has to be marketable to be to reach all the players. So that was the first point. And then I drifted into LeBron James again today, which I'm gonna try not to do all the time. So that's point one. All right. Point two is the daily routine, and I kind of touched on that. But if you're marketable, how much are you working on yourself? And in my practices, there were certain drills that we would do every day. It was just certain things that we would do every day. It was repetition. That was the routine every day. I said on episode one, every day I would give a word of the day. It was just routine. I didn't want my players to just be good basketball players. I wanted them to be great human beings, great individuals. So while they coming to get conditioned and coming to learn how to play basketball and have fun doing that, I'm going to enlighten them mentally too. That's my job. Now I said teacher, educator, coaches have to do all that. So before practice even start, we in a circle. And I'm going to give you a word of the day and we're going to break it down. We're going to break that down. In the whole practice, we reverting right back to that word all day in practice. So now, not only are you hearing me and listening to me, if the word for the day is blessed, and we're talking about blessed all day in practice, you may not be able to comprehend the definition that Webster or the Free Dictionary or whoever, define the word blessed. But based on our interactions throughout the day in certain scenarios, real life scenarios, now you understand what the word blessed means. I mean, it was certain days, depending on what happened in the world or in the neighborhood, it was some days, that I might come in with who knows what type of word. Election, right? Because we know every 2 years, really every 2 years, there's an election. We got 4 years, we got 2 years, some 6 years, right? Some eight, So you got an election, and it's generally in November. That's during basketball season. So if our word is election, you may not understand the definition of election. You might not even understand the democratic process because maybe that instructor hasn't taught you. But throughout the day, we're going to speak on election. And are you a good candidate? What makes you marketable to be a good candidate to get elected? Why should I elect you to play? Why should I call you off the bench? That's you being elected to come play. See, I turned everything into life lessons. It didn't matter what it was. The players be like, man, that makes sense. Damn, coach. I never thought about it that way. Sometimes I was shocked myself, because I'm not holier than thou. I'm not the greatest coach, but I brought everything back to life. That's why I wrote the book. Understanding life through the game of basketball. If the word was blessed or if the word was election, by the end of that day, even when they're tired, at the end of the day, we come back in the circle and they understood that word for the day better. So I'm saying all that to say, what's your daily routine? Is your daily routine helping you, or is your daily routine hurting you? Or I don't want to say that, helping or hurting. Is your daily routine making you be more productive or less productive from your own standards? That's the same way, you and I can use football, baseball, whatever, but this is a basketball show, right? We're talking about life of basketball. If you go in the gym and you spend 2 hours in the gym, 8 times out of 10 you're wasting your time because you're not working hard enough. So if you got to iron your clothes or press them and shine your shoes or whatever for an interview or however you want to do, you got a report due for work or whatever, why not sit down, make a plan, come up with a plan first. See, oftentimes we do things and we don't have a plan, we don't have a to-do list, we don't have a blueprint or an outline of how we're going to get it done. We went, my wife and I went, we normally go to the Black Expo. Keep breaking up on me, but normally my wife and I, we normally go to the Indianapolis Black Expo, and we love it because Kid Capri had his all-white party. Now, I don't know, maybe I'm mistaken, but, and I've read a couple times too, to where Kid Capri said, like, you got to know how to rock the party. But Kid Capri has it down to a science. So I believe Kid Capri writes a to-do list. Like he writes and I don't know if he's still on. Chat, tell me if I'm right or wrong, right? But a good DJ will have a playlist to kind of get it going, get it started. Kid Capri come out, he gonna take you way back first. Like he gonna get it super amped up. And then he ain't playing whole songs, he chopping them up. He chopping them up. But he dropping everything that you want to hear based on how he know that crowd is. I'm gonna hit you with all the stuff y'all like in the door that make y'all get nuts. Then he smooth it out, give you a hip hop, give you an R&B set. Then he give you a house set. Then he come back to the hip hop set. Like he's made a plan, his blueprint for how he's gonna do it. So what are our daily routines? Are we making a blueprint? Are we making a to-do list to know what it is that we can do, what we're going to do, what we're not going to do, so we can be more productive? That's the second point of being marketable. Production is based on your daily routines. So it starts at the top. And hey, if and don't even have to be a basketball coach, but if you're a parent, it starts from the top. If you're a teacher, if you're a leader, if you're a pastor, if whatever it is that you are, if you're a boss, like it trickles down from the top. And then the daily routines. And then last but not least, all right, really bringing it to basketball. Gonna talk about the balls. Alonzo Ball. Right? Maybe he get a chance to go to LA. Maybe he go to Boston. But here's the thing. Alonzo Ball is marketable. I don't care what you say about his daddy. Why is he marketable? Because he can play the 1 or the 2. If he go to Boston, we already know what he playing. He gonna play the 2 because he gonna play the 2 because Isaiah Thomas is gonna be the 1. And I'm not quite sure if Isaiah Thomas can play the 2. You know, I had a guy that was probably the height of Isaiah Thomas, maybe a little shorter. Name was Cartier Pennington. His stage name is Rocket because he's a Harlem Globetrotter now. Okay, but he was the smallest dude on the court, no matter what court we went on. But he could shoot the lights out. But he was marketable because if I needed him to handle the ball, he could handle the ball, even though that wasn't his strength. But he could. But he knew how to play off the ball better. It's not a knock on Isaiah Thomas because I love his game, but I'm not so sure. Like I talk about the worst thing that happened to basketball, they put air in it. Like he's ball aggressive. Isaiah Thomas has to have the ball in his hands, kind of to create plays. So if Alonzo Ball goes to Boston, he's going to be the backup point guard, which means now they got to get rid of Avery Bradley or whatever, or he's going to play the 2. But they can still keep him in consideration at the number 1 pick because they can, they can use him there at either position. But it would more likely, my take, it'll more likely be the 2 if he go to Boston. But if he go to La La Land, he gonna play the 1. He gonna play the 1 because they need a point guard because D'Angelo Russell is a 2. He might have played 1 in college, but he's a 2. That's why. What's the Lakers coach? Somebody type in the Lakers coach. Man, it's on the tip of my tongue to play Luke Walton, right? Played Arizona. That's why Luke put him at the 2 later on in the season. Maybe they were just flirting, like, okay, let's see what we need. But D'Angelo can score that thing at the 2. So Alonzo Ball is marketable. And heck, with the Lakers, the dude that they got from Duke that plays the 3, if they needed him to go down there, he might be to do that. Like Pippen. I don't know if people remember, but it was a time when Pippen used to play the 4. Pippen could play the 1, the 2. His natural position was the 3. But if Phil wanted to go small, he would put Scotty at the 4 and Kukoc at the 5. So I'm not comparing Alonzo Ball to none of those guys, but Alonzo Ball is marketable because he can play numerous positions. There you go, Chuck Walton. Yeah, Luke Walton. Now, Luke could shoot, but Luke could probably only play the 2. The 3s was bigger, maybe stronger. So Luke could play the 2. So again, I'm saying all of this, and we launched from this book where, at some point we will launch here all the time. All right, this is my player, Charles Pete and Chuck. He the one that just typed in Luke Walton. That's him on the cover. All right, quick story about this while he's on here. He may not remember. Maybe he do. But this is what this title is all about. Because when the picture first came out, people were like, man, you manhandling your players. No. The game was won in practice already. But he was super geeked. And we might have lost this game. This might have been the Kankakee game that we lost by like 2 or 3. But he was super geeked He was super geek because at this point in time, and just the way God works, sometimes it's funny. His number is 25, but it was the first time that we were ranked in the top 25 in the country, and it was our next game. He was super geeked, and he came out and like was just, I think he got a quick foul, and then he might have missed the assignment, and he was like charged up. And so at the timeout, because remember I said in the book that each individual means just as much as the whole team. Each individual means just as much as the whole team. So I would call timeout. And, if timeout 60 seconds, I may, depending on the situation, I may be in a timeout 15 seconds. If I needed to be in there 50, 55, I would. But I would talk to my coaches first, because we're a team. We all have ownership. But this here was, I had to pull Chuck to the side in the timeout. And I let my team go talk amongst themselves because they were mentally mature enough to be like, hey, man, we need to do this. We need to do that. But I had to pull my bull to the side. And me and him had our own timeout. And as you can see, I'm looking him in the eye. He looking me in the eye. If you want to build strong people, strong men, people give them eye contact. That way they know you're serious. And I mean, this year we had a great team. All those guys, great guys. Excellent guys to this day. All right. They all understood life. And I use basketball as a vehicle. And they are all productive right now. Other than one, he got killed last year. Rest in peace, L. But I had to pull him to the side and I had to calm Chuck down and say, man, you know what we got to do. You know what you're supposed to do. Calm down. See, I could have called a timeout and just went right in his face, start japping on him. And it was times where I might have done those things in practice or sometimes maybe in the game, depending on the circumstance, but they knew I loved them, so these dudes would run through a wall for me. But I had to pull him to the side and get him to understand life. This game is a marathon. This game is not a sprint. Life is a marathon. But we have to know, if you ever seen cross-country runners, if you ever seen long-distance runners, they know how to pace themselves. But they're not pacing themselves to get comfortable. They've already came up with a plan. Remember, we talked about having that plan for your everyday routine. So people that run marathons have a plan. I'm going to get out the gate early. I'm going to coast the next 15 miles, but stay at 5 miles an hour, 7 miles an hour. However, maybe that's fast for a run, I don't know. And then those last 6 miles, I'm a sprint. I had to let them know we got a 40-minute game. It's a marathon, not a sprint. That's what this picture is. That's what this cover is all about. And it was the perfect cover for me to fit in for the title because it's about making players better people and making people better human beings. Making players better people and making people better human beings. And I just so happen to use basketball as my vehicle. And then when they leave from me or when they leave from you as a leader, they should be marketable. They should be able to go and sit in any genre. They should be able to have a hoodie and some sweats and some Tim's on and still be able to talk with proper diction to where people listen to them and not hear them. Not only hear them, but they listen to them. Or they should be able to put on a suit and tie and go walk into a boardroom and the same thing happen. People can listen to them and not just hear them. That's what I've always tried to convey with my teams or with anybody that I work with. That's what Bless the Ball is all about. Things that we teach and do in our after school programs and our normal sessions. That's what we do. So that's about it for today's show. Do anybody have any questions? Type them in. I got about 4-5 more minutes left in this show. Again, we will try to do this show every Tuesday and Thursday. It's freezing up on me again. But every Tuesday and Thursday, 4 p.m. Central Time. All right, I will launch it from my page before we move it over to our fan page. Anybody got any questions, type them in. So I see Chuck on here. I see Steve on here. See Chet on here. See Greg on here. What up, y'all? I see Mike on here. What up? What up, Mike? Anybody got any questions? Any questions? I mean, this is a interactive. We got Rodney on. Anybody got any questions? Any questions? Basketball questions, life questions, anything that you may want to know. It don't just have to be about coaching, just be about situations. All right. Again, we talked about being marketable, and we launched from a chapter in my new book titled Understanding Life Through the Game of Basketball. All right, every show we will take something from here and launch. So I read an excerpt, all right, from chapter 4, where it says why you practice for greatness. Why do you practice for greatness? And it said games are won in practice, not the actual match. If anybody that plays football, I know Greg Dotson played football. It's won in practice. You practice. People say practice makes perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. And always remember, one snowflake never caused an avalanche. So no matter what you're doing with whoever you serving, whoever you helping out, you have to make everyone feel as though they're part of whatever it is that you're doing. Because we always say we're only as strong as our weakest link. That's kind of negative. But when you think about no one snowflake ever caused an avalanche, that means it takes however many strong together to be able to get the job done that we need to get the job done. If we building up young men, young women, adults, even if we training animals, we got to get everybody to buy in, and they buy in by knowing that they are a part of, that they have a voice, that what they say matter. We got to stop killing people's dreams, man. If they think they can do it, then by all means, support them. And then it's your job, try to guide them in the right direction. Not to say, man, you can't do that. I made a post the other day, people got mad and say, stop telling your kids that they can be in, that they can fulfill their dreams if you giving up on yours. People got mad. You telling me how to be a parent. I ain't telling you how to be a parent. But the question I'm asking to you is, why did you give up on your dreams? Because now that kid is watching you. So if you telling your kid they can be anything they want to be, but then you complaining about the things that you got to do every day, eventually they're going to start looking at you and say, well, how come you ain't what you want it to be? That's tough, man. That's tough. Unless we training robots, I won't mind to be able to ask questions and then know when it's okay to question. See, we've been taught, and then we try to pass it on to where we, let people that's under us don't question me. Don't question me. Well, leaders create leaders. I was supposed to be asking questions, answering questions. Leaders create leaders. So if leaders gonna create leaders, then at some point as a leader, you have to question something. Then you got to ask questions. It's another quote that says, and I might have it in the book, but it says, "Those that know how will always have a job. Those that know how will always have a job." But get this. They say those that know why will always own the company. Woo! That's deep. Those that know how will always have a job. Those that know why will always own the company. You know, y'all see the dude in the Facebook to be like, think about it. Be able to question things, man. Be able to ask questions. So if leaders create leaders, we want those under us to be able to start to think outside the box and say, well, why is this happening this way? Why is this happening that way? And then what it does also from a coach standpoint, if I got my players to know, hey, this is what we need to be doing, and this is how we act, because my players, they knew when we got off the bus, earrings had to come out. Talking about road trips. Earrings come out, we get in the building, hats off. We walking in, y'all can have y'all headphones on, but we focus because it's a business trip. We coming in to beat their brains out and go back home. No prisoners. But no earrings, take them hats off. We're going overnight road trips. At a certain time, them phones come in my room. Because you ain't going to be on the phone caking it all night or doing whatever you ain't supposed to be doing. We focus. So how am I, as the leader, going to walk in and I got my hat broke off? Come on, man. I got my pants sagging down. Or I got my earrings in. Now I'm a fraud. And if I'm teaching them right and they can spot that and question that, then they can question me, Coach, why are you doing it? And you telling us not to. Because see, we grew up in the time of do as I say, not as I do. But nowadays, generations change, time have changed, and people are doing more of what you do as opposed to what you say. So there's different type of leaders. I got that in the book too. That's chapter 1, transformative leadership. I'm telling you, man, I'm done. But this book, all right, I'm going to drop it in the links. All right, it's for any leader, any coach. All right, Mike, you can have your whole athletic department read this book. I've been coaching for 24 years now. Got a master's in athletic administration. All right, been a college head coach. I mean, there is a whole lot of value in this book for players, parents, leaders of all kinds. All right, so I'm gonna drop the link. You can go and pick up the book. The book is $19.99. All right, it's $5 shipping. But like I say, if you're close anywhere, and I can meet you, we can meet up somewhere. I can sign a copy for you. Can meet you, drop it off. Those that I don't know, I'm in the, Chicagoland area. I would love to meet whoever is, purchasing the book. You can go to Amazon and get the ebook. The ebook on Amazon, I believe, is $9.99. All right, you can go get the ebook if you want on Amazon. But however you got the book, hard copy, Kindle, wherever, all right, please go to Amazon, leave a comment. All right, go leave a comment. I would like to, build the book up and, hopefully get this out there because this is just one of many. All right, one of many. Because I got a whole lot of stories to tell. A whole lot of things that I want to help people do. So I'm gonna type the link in, and if anyone, go and pick it up, I would definitely appreciate it. And I will sign it for you. You just let me know who you want me to, sign it with. And that's about it, but those, Lance, what up? LB, how you feeling? Clay, what's up? Me and you really need to sit and get some things together, man. The one thing I can say all on this link is a lot of powerful brothers, all right, that I've been knowing for a long time in all different genres, doing a lot of different things. At some point in time, we need to come together and just just throw like a big forum and just invite whoever want to come out. Just a big forum with guys that have done different things and are in different fields, entrepreneurs, leaders, and just give back. Because how powerful is it? The same way I say that we walk in games focus, how powerful is it to have 500, 1,000 young men come in, and even young ladies, and they're able to see, 20, 30, 40, 50, even to 100 powerful professional young adults. Not those that's, and we might be able to talk like, hey, Joe, because as we grew up, it was always Joe, right? Hey, Joe, such and such, such. Might be able to do that. But again, we can put them hoodies and them Timbs on, but we can hide that tie too. And our diction can adjust. But I'm trying to collaborate, not compete. It's a whole lot of powerful people that I'm looking at that's on here, that I can see. I don't know who else is on, but male and female, there's a whole lot that we can do if we do our part. We need to do more collaboration, less competing against one another, man. But we got to offer good service. Got to offer good service. So I just dropped the link in there. All right. The link to the book, go and pick it up. And next Tuesday, man, I'll holler at y'all. All right. Until then, I always say, make sure that you working on your craft, because there's somebody far away that you don't know that's working on theirs, and y'all got the same craft. It's gonna be a point in time where y'all meet each other, and they're gonna beat you or they're gonna outwork you because you ain't worked hard enough. To Tuesday, man. Out. Share this. Share this link. Got a part 1 and part 2. Part 1 was nice. Part 2 was dope. All right. Talk to y'all later, man. Mike, let's talk, man.